Welcome back, AHS. I'm JD Frazier.
And I'm Tiffany Flanagan. And this is
The Res. On this week's episode of The Res, it's the Intern Takeover.
While the veterans are off doing a 48-hour film challenge, we have free range over this week's episode.
Hopefully we can do a good job.
Speaking of jobs, this week I asked the AWOCN question, and this is what you had to say.
If I could be anything I want to be, I would be president and screw up this whole entire economy.
If I were able to have any job I want, I would choose to be performing with musical theater because it's what I like to do.
I would love to be a public executioner because I would love to stay ahead of the game.
My job would be a professional eater because what's better than getting paid to eat?
Be a Border Patrol agent.
I'd love to be a YouTube star because, believe it or not, they make a lot of big money.
I want to be a high school softball coach. I want to be a model still because so I can have like a perfect body and then like everyone will see me like on the magazines and everything and I'll be awesome, you know?
I'm a model, you know what I mean?
If I had any job, it would be to draw anime because anime's fun. It's a big passion of mine and it's very entertaining.
I would be a pilot so I could fly around the world and see a bunch of places.
Nuclear technician.
I want to be a famous singer because I'm amazing at singing.
I want to be a dermatologist so I can touch people's skin.
I want to be a fashion designer because I like clothes.
I would work at Apple.
I would be an astronaut so I can get away from all the annoying people here on Earth.
If I could have any job in the world I wanted, I'd be an actor.
If I could have any job in the world, I would want to be a marine biologist.
Wow, those are some great answers. Well, I love being an optometrist myself. Well, now back to you guys.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it really was.
Honestly, there are so many cool jobs out there. It's amazing to think of the possibilities.
When you don't look at your job as some terrible task you have to do every day, it really makes life a wonderful place.
I agree. I think a lot of people in our school have a lot of talent and have a bright future.
Speaking of a bright future, how are our athletes doing this week?
Let's find out in this week's Res Sports.
He may be the greatest athlete of all time.
There is mustard on the lettuce. Softball went up against Stephenville. Sadly, we lost 13-3. Last Thursday, there was a track meet. Let's see some highlights of that. In last week's powerlifting meet, Isabella Weathery won state champion. Good job. Tuesday, baseball went up against Stephenville. They won 1-4. Good job, guys. Back to you guys.
Huh? Can you even be an intern for anything sports related?
Yeah, there are tons of sports internships. None of them actually playing, but there's a lot to learn from working around them.
Hopefully one day I'll be able to hut with the big boys.
Why don't we hear about internships with Coach Stevens? It's time for this week's Indian Interview Time.
They were singing, my, it's Indian interview time, where we interview some Indians and have a good time. So sit back and watch this interview time, 'cause it's Indian interview time, Indian interview time.
Welcome back, AHS, to this week's edition of Indian Interview Time. I'm Brandon Barrington, with me is Coach Stevens. We're here to talk with you about internships and be intern at NASA, is that correct?
I suppose.
He doesn't even know.
What were some of your duties interning?
At NASA?
Yeah. Have you done other internships as well?
I'm sure. But you want to know about NASA?
Yes.
Okay. I actually did not work at I worked at the facility in Clear Lake. I worked at their downtown office in downtown Houston during the summer. And I worked in their biomedical research unit. And what they did, what National Biomedical Research Institute did, is a consortium of academic institutions doing research on the effects of space travel on astronauts. Right? Because the ultimate objective, again, is to get outside of lower Earth orbit and get into go to the moon again and ultimately maybe send astronauts to Mars. Well, to do that, that's remarkably challenging and taxing on the human body. And so what NSBRI did and what the focus of the research at that institute was how to make it humanly possible. What do we need to do to prepare and to make astronauts have the capacity to physiologically handle such a journey.
Okay. I know a lot of people, what they see an intern as being is one who, especially because of what's shown on media, a person who catches coffee or maybe just copies papers. Is that anything like that, or is it more?
Oh yeah, I would think almost all internships entail part of that, but that's part of it. I mean, and you can't be upset or offended by that. I mean, that's part of your role. I was lucky at my internship. I had a very active part, and I got to do a lot, but I also at times was the errand boy, and that's just part of it, being in that position. My advice any internship is you're basically on an interview, and whether it's for that organization or some other organization, those people are going to be references for you the rest of your life. You want them to be able to speak well about you, well about your work ethic. So when you go to work at your internship, even if it's mostly making copies and getting coffee, I would say do it like it's your dream job, because if you do that, then you're gonna develop respect among those people with whom you're working, and that'll go a long way towards your future.
Okay, so based off of what you're saying, I'm assuming that you would agree that having an internship is very helpful for the road ahead?
Oh, of course. Anytime you can get it. Now, paid internships are better than unpaid, because, who doesn't like money? But, any opportunity you get, if it makes sense, I'd no doubt intern. That's how you learn, it's how you develop connections. And really, if you want to advance in anything, you need connections.
We've talked about what an intern entails back to the history of an intern. About how long do you think that would have been a thing? Maybe Aristotle had interns?
He had, I guess you could say, proteges to a degree. But yeah, it all goes back to, in ways, is tied to master and apprenticeships, and is still very much that way even today. And that's why I say, when you work in your internship, regardless of what you do and what the responsibilities day to day are, is to do it like it's your dream job, because ultimately you're trying to impress your boss. You're trying to impress, an apprentice is trying to impress the master, right? To convince them that you're ultimately at their level. So whether it's a medieval institution or ancient Greece institution, it's still institution employed this day.
And that's going to conclude our edition of Indian Interview Time this week. We'll see you next time.
Wow, I think we're doing pretty good.
Surprisingly.
I can't wait to see what the other interns have planned for Masterpiece Theater.
Me too.
And now it's time for Roe's Regular Rambling, where Roe rambles regularly.
Well, hey there, guys. This is Coach Roe. Today I wanted to talk to you about internship. It's really important if you want to get a big career as far as your profession. But today I want to give you 3 points on how to be a good intern and how to even interview to be an intern. Number 1, dress the part. Do not go to an interview in what you rolled out of bed that morning. Dress professional. If you roll out with a Mickey Mouse t-shirt and go to an interview, they're not going to take you very seriously. Guys, wear a suit. You walk in with your bunny slippers, they're not going to take you seriously. Ladies, dress the part. Nice dress, maybe the pantsuit, powerful, all that kind of stuff. Number 2, know your answers before they ever ask you a question. Here's what I mean by that. You should be able to answer this question before you ever walk into the door. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Why should you deserve this job and say nobody else? Your answer should not be, because I'm awesome, or because I'm cool, or because I'm great at playing video games. Make it relative to what you're doing. So if you're going to a newspaper internship position, then talk about why you're great at writing newspaper articles and why you're good at doing this and doing that. Keep it relevant. Don't waste these people's time. Number 3, use your manners. Do not walk in going, yeah, or nah, or whatever. Don't talk like you're talking to your best friend. That's the sure way to get out the door. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. You walk in and don't look at them and you're answering questions like this, like there's flies on the wall, and you're slouching a chair like you're kicking back on your mom's couch. That's not a way to get an internship. Look professional, talk professional. Remember, You get more flies with honey instead of vinegar. People like it when you're polite. That is a natural draw to them, or a natural draw to you. So use your manners, be nice to people, be calm, use good vocabulary. So whatever you're going for, remember, if you find something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. So shoot big, go big, the stars are the limit. Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land amongst the stars. So go big or go home, like I always say. So guys, thanks for this time. Hope this has helped you out. And remember, shoot for the stars, go Indians.
This has been Rose Regular Rambling. Thank you for watching AHS, and we'll see you next time.
We did good.
We sure did.
Hey, I just remembered that the other day I was looking at some interesting internships, and did you know that there are internships for the National Dinosaur Monument in Colorado?
That would be super cool to do.
And a little weird.
Speaking of weird, I wonder what weird things the other interns have cooked up for us in shenanigans.
It is time in which we highlight the skilled,
the funny,
the silly,
and the talented.
It's time for this week's
Shenanigans.
Keep your back straight as a footrest. Clean the bathrooms regularly. Be prepared to put things up. Do all of the paperwork. Do whatever they tell you to do.
What is it?
Well, you see, I'm really interested in becoming a librarian, and I'm not sure if there are any internships for me.
Actually, there are tons of internships for librarians. Honestly, anything anybody is interested in, you can find an internship for.
I wonder if we'll learn more about internships in WIG.
I'm sure we will.
Good morning, AHS. Now that we're back from spring break, it's time to get our brains in gear and get ready for the end of the year. Some of you, that means graduation. With graduation comes a few choices. So if you're not sure about your choices, come by the library and we can show you a few books. We have a career section of books, and then we also have SAT, ACT, ASVAB prep if you want to take some practice tests before you take the real test. So if you have any questions, come by and ask Ms. Gilbert or me.
And now it's time for us to inform you about our sponsor, Tribal Tees.
For all your shirts,
hoodies,
senior pictures,
and graphic design needs.
See Tribal Tees.
Come join the tribe. And now a word from our sponsor, Johnson County Pipe.
Johnson County Pipe Supply is a family-owned and operated manufacturing company providing local jobs for over a decade. Our industry-leading position in the ever-growing construction industry is also seeking self-motivated, hard-working individuals with integrity. No experience necessary, just a willing attitude, and bilingual is a plus. So if you're looking to work in a year-round manufacturing, safe, friendly environment with competitive pay and full-time benefits, look no further than down the pipeline, just off 67 on County Road 209.
Tell them you saw this ad on the red.
An independent company of the Thompson Pipe Group. Must be 18 to apply, must apply in person.
Keep that purple pride alive, AHS, and until next time, I'm JD Frazier.
And I'm Tiffany Flanagan.
And this is The Res.
While the veterans are off doing a 48-hour film challenge, we have a free...
Yeah,
you should know.
Went up against Stephenville. Sadly, we lost. Forgot the number.
When Tiffany starts speaking.
The lights just turned off.